We're going to talk about the Cardinals and the NFC West division. Are the Cardinals the best team in the division, sitting at 3-1 right now after just suffering a loss to the St. Louis Rams?
They're still the best team in the league.
Said the best team in the league. So even after the Seahawks won last night, you think the Cardinals are still the best team in that division at least? Yes. But you're going all the way to the league.
They're still the best team in the division.
They're better than the Seahawks.
They're better than the Seahawks.
Better than the Packers.
Their defense is on the same level as the Seahawks defense, and the offense is better than the Seahawks. Mm-hmm. So they're better than the Seahawks.
Are you really sure the offense is better than the Seahawks?
The offense is better.
You think they will get consistent running production out of Chris Johnson throughout this whole
season? Andre Ellington coming back next week.
Even Andre Ellington.
He was productive before he got hurt.
He was with them. I'm saying
actually every running back that's played this season has been productive for them. But, even though it's just been mainly Chris Johnson, most carries.
But you also got to take into account that the Seahawks have dual running threats. The Seahawks have Marshawn Lynch when he's healthy, and Russell Wilson as a threat when he's healthy.
But that's it, mainly.
No, but that's all you need.
Their passing threats aren't as big.
No, but I'm saying as their rushing threats. Their passing threats. Their passing threats. I mean, you got Jimmy Graham. You got Jermaine Kearse.
Jimmy Graham's barely getting used.
But he's still a threat on the field.
He is a threat.
He's still a threat on the field.
They use him as a blocker, which is why he hates his role there. He probably hates his role more than DeMarco Murray hates his role in Philadelphia.
But what weapons do the Cardinals have that are more dangerous than the Seahawks? I mean, Jimmy Graham's a big deal. Jermaine Kearse, Doug Baldwin, Chris Matthews.
There's a lot of names. There's a lot of decent receivers in Seattle. But for Russell Wilson, he's not using them like he should have. He's not using them like he's been using them to make those Super Bowl runs. They're not the team that you once were. That's why I don't think they're better than Arizona. They wasn't better than Arizona Cardinals last year. Arizona Cardinals got hurt.
Mm-hmm. Do you think the Arizona Cardinals would go to the Super Bowl over the Seattle Seahawks
last year? If I would stay healthy, honestly, yes. Honestly, Seahawks shouldn't have been in the Super Bowl to begin with. The game against the Packers.
Statement.
The
reception was like wishy-washy.
I'm glad the Packers got robbed.
What do you think about it, Khalid? What do you think of the Cardinals and what their place is in the division? And are they the best team in the division?
Are they the best team? That's tough to say. It's still early. I mean, they just lost one game, and the Seahawks have been playing without Cam Chancellor. He did definitely put the defense where it needed to be at, and not got them their wins, but they're looking a whole lot.
I honestly say they won that game
because of Cam Chancellor.
Because when he forced that fumble out of Calvin Johnson,
which shouldn't have been a win.
Who knows?
Which shouldn't have been a win.
We don't know.
You can't really say it.
You don't know because one, even at the
end of the game, the 1 yard line.
At the end of the game, the Seahawks have one of the best red zone defenses. But at the end of the game,
at the 1 yard line,
Cam Chancellor batted the ball out of Calvin Johnson's hands when he was reaching for the goal line, which caused a fumble. So the ball is bouncing in the end zone, and then one of the Seahawks linebackers comes and tips the ball out of bounds, which is an illegal play. It's illegal. You can't bat the ball out of bounds. You can't hit it out of bounds.
Back to the lines.
But the ball is already on its way out of bounds. So, but it's also a toss in the air because you don't know if it would have made its way fully there.
Rules.
So the rule is the referee should have called the fact that it was an illegal bat, and the Lions should have got the ball at first and goal, first down at the goal line.
At 1 yard line.
But
don't include that.
I said the goal line.
You gotta say the 1 yard line. Don't say the goal line.
It don't matter. It's still goal.
So, but instead, the Seahawks got the ball with pretty much enough time to run out the clock. So he's assuming that the Lions would have scored on first when they got the ball back, and the would have
been ahead of them,
which would have resulted in the Seahawks loss. I can't say that for sure. You don't know they would have scored because they have one of the best red zone defenses, at least when Cam Chancellor's in the lineup.
But you have 4 plays to get 1 yard.
You have 4 plays, and we've seen people not do it.
Yeah, that's true.
We've seen people not do it.
You have first play is going to be, of course, you know what the first play is going to be. It's going to be a jump ball to Megatron. You can't completely crash a box and have single coverage on him over there on a jump ball.
But they would not. They don't crash the box. The thing with the Seattle Seahawks defense, that's why their defense is so great in the red zone. And the Lions aren't that great of a running team at that. So they're more inclined to pass in the red zone. And when they're more inclined, you're gonna throw a jump ball to Megatron when you either have Earl Thomas.
He's been doing his thing though. They're in Detroit running the ball.
They haven't run, bro. Their rushing numbers have not been great.
He's averaging like 3-4 yards a carry.
3 yards a carry is not great, bro.
3 to 4 for a passing team is really good.
It's all. If
For a
you
passing
get
team.
if you
Yeah,
get
talking
10,
about for a passing team.
if on 10 attempts if on 10 rushing attempts you get 40 yards, you're gonna average 4 yards. So that's pretty easy to say. Oh yeah, he's averaging 4 yards. But if you're not running the ball effectively the whole game, because it's more than one running back running the ball.
You're right.
So if you're more inclined to throw the ball, one even if you score and you're throwing the ball, you're more likely to leave time on the clock for Seattle to retaliate on the other side on offense. So if you're leaving Seattle time to retaliate on offense, I mean, and Seattle had their timeouts. Lions had no timeouts. So Seattle has time to go down the other side of the ball, other side, and drive the ball at the field. Lord knows if they would have done it, but we can't just say that the Lions would have automatically scored. You can't take that away from Seattle.
Even if they didn't score, okay, put it this way: even if they didn't score, the game would have went to overtime. It was 13-10 final score. Kick the field goal. He'll miss a 17-yard field goal.
These kickers.
The old school extra point. No,
the old school extra point.
The kickers. You can't even say extra points for sure.
No,
anything.
Not the new
I see people miss 18 yards. I see people miss 18 yards in this day and this like now NFL, the current NFL line of kickers. I don't know what's going on with the Josh Scobies of the world. With your boy from Jaguar.
Don't mention his name around me.
Yeah, you see all these kickers are costing their players games. I don't know honestly if it would have been a definite. I mean, they probably most likely would have went to overtime. They would have got stopped on 3 downs. But granted, I can't say definitely the 3 downs. The turnover doesn't occur. So there's so many things I can go into.
They could have won in overtime.
AA was averaging 3 yards to carry that game. About
3 yards. 3 yards to carry. That's not great.
That's still you only need 1.
That's not great.
On the Seahawks, all you need is 1.
What do you mean all you need?
If he's averaging 3 a carry.
No, but I'm saying if you're averaging 3 a carry, then there's a lot of less carries. There's a lot of carries that you're getting there below 3 yards also. So I mean,
but how do you know he's not getting a carry? Oh, you're right. Okay,
exactly.
So you're saying he basically breaking a run out.
Yeah, so he broke a run out probably, but you're averaging a lot of 3 yards.
He can have good runs, but then he'll have
like you can break a big run, but then if you have that one run, you can see the longest run they have in the stat sheet. You see their longest run, and then you see the rest of the runs, and it's all like 2, 2, 1, 1. Then you're just like, and even some of them for loss, but you can't say for sure, especially when there's more linemen out there to stop the run.
You have more lines out there to block for the run.
You do have more linemen out there to buffer run, which is your normal set anyway. Your normal set is Calvin Johnson out there with you can only got 4 or 5 down linemen or 6 down linemen actually in your tight ends, and then you have another receiver out there. That's what they normally come out with in their offensive sets. So you already had that. And the Seahawks have been stopping your run with only 4 down linemen. I mean, and you telling them to put more big people out there just take up space. Just take up space. That's all linemen do. Offensive linemen get paid to get in the way. Defensive linemen paid to go get something. If you think about it, that's all they do.
That division should be Arizona, then Seattle. I mean, not Seattle, then St. Louis.
I can't. Ooh, the Rams because of their consistency. I can't say that they deserve to be second in the division because they haven't shown. Even though Todd Gurley, watch out, man. Todd Gurley came through. He could have had a touchdown, but he was wise and slid at the end of the game when he was running. He broke a big run, could have scored a touchdown. He slid to run the clock out.
How do you think fantasy owners feel about that?
He ain't playing for the fantasy.
He playing for.
He playing for W.
He just cost somebody $2 million probably.
He ain't worried about them fantasy.
Yeah, he ain't worried about them.
He cost somebody $2 million.
It's their fault for putting him on their team. Shoot, cheap asses. Why don't you go get Adrian Peterson? Put him on your team.
Right. You can't afford that team you had if you go get Adrian Peterson because it costs too much. Oh, Todd Gurley cheap. Todd Gurley ain't played. He's probably the cheapest running back you can get. Well, that's not. Hey, he got you. He got you 140 something rushing yards. That's 14 points. That'd have been 20 points. The point is, Arizona Cardinals is the best team in the division. They're still the best team in the league.
I think it's still kind of shaky because it's still early. Yeah. And then Seahawks do got Cam Chancellor back, so he can kind of swing either.
Cam Chancellor don't make the offense play better.
I understand that.
Offense still been bad.
But the defense was horrible.
Defense wins championship. Offense wins games.
Does.
It's all about getting games right now.
They winning games since Cam Chancellor came back.
Barely. They shouldn't have won.
They won it too.
A win's a win, right?
They should be 1-1 since Cam Chancellor's return.
A win's a win, right?
1-1.
So
can't say they should be. They are 2-2. But y'all, that's gonna wrap up the show. You have fun. Check us out every Tuesday and Thursday from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. You can also watch our past shows on the KBR Sports YouTube channel. You can follow us on Twitter at KBR_sports. And we'll get up with y'all on Thursday. Thanks for tuning in.
And also back.